Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, just give me a second here. I think I set up the the stream correctly this time because I think I'm able to cut the echo, and I'm extremely proud of that actually. Because the last video, I think I was echoing the whole time, or a majority. I'm not really sure, but man, it was tough. It was tough to set these things up, and then I mean, I guess once you get it going, it's not so bad anymore. Um, so yeah, hope everyone's doing good today. How y'all doing? It's just about an hour before most people's lunch, so it's kind of cloudy out here today. And I would imagine if you're in North Carolina or near the Raleigh area, yeah, you're probably dealing with a little bit of rain, or yeah, looks good. So yeah, man. Go ahead and leave some questions in the chat if you got any questions about anything. I've been posting on this number one friction saver. I call it the Captain Hook special. It's basically um, the poor man's version of the um, ART's friction saver, and that thing is like the Ferrari of friction savers. This one's like the LS7 Corvette, or is it not the LS7? The C8. I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant to say C8. I was thinking about this C. So yeah, so the Corvette 8, the new one, the one that looks like a Ferrari mid-engine. Anyway, it's a budget ART friction saver. It works absolutely magnificently. So I really like it. We were working on this huge red oak here, and now I came down and I jumped into the lift just so that I can just kind of save my body. You know what I'm saying? Not being in the spikes the whole time, and it just makes things a little easier, especially when you're working on the wood and everything. Especially wood like this, when it's so big, you got to really, um, it's big wood. You need a big saw, and it's just tough. It's rough on the body. It's rough on the body whenever you're climbing it. So we had the lift there nearby, and it was already set up. So hopped in there, and we're gonna go ahead and start cutting it down. Let's see what we can do here. So yeah, this is a 461, razor sharp 461. Cut that box out, cut the notch. Um, Made sure that the notch was like perfect, that there's no bypass in it, and just kind of, it's not really important for this specific situation, but I like to practice that. So yeah, this is always a lot of fun. It's the whole build up. You're making sure that your back cut is good and that you have hinge wood and everything. And right before it goes, I mean, if you're tied into this thing, you're gonna try to time it perfectly so you could put the saw away and then brace yourself. I mean, that's what I do, and it's always a lot of fun. Um, there she goes. And so I cut this one very interestingly so that there's just hinge wood in the center. Kind of a weird cut, but it ended up working out really nice. So we're going to take another piece out of it because we don't want to drop this tree and take out any branches out of that cherry tree or this bush to the left there, in the left part of the screen. Um, so I always like to go from left to right whenever I'm tying my running bowline, and I'm able to get it to lay just perfectly in this manner. I love it. It's just so satisfying. Sometimes I just can't wait to make the knot just because I want to make it better than the last time. And so here is the rope. The rope is attached there. Real nice, clean knot there. And now just gonna pivot the basket a little bit. This lift has an insane amount of controls on it. It really does. And this wood is enormous. Absolutely enormous. I'm just cutting them about to the length where they're gonna fit, where the mini can still pick them up, and not so big that the mini couldn't pick them up. Also, having keeping in mind that they need to fit in the truck. And we use when I was with this company, we were using the goodness gracious, they were basically like roll off containers, right? And it's like the switch and go system. And the company just had a bunch of those roll off containers, and we were able to take a few to the job and then fill them up with wood, and then we had one there for like the mini and the buckets, all the cleanup equipment, fuel. And then we had another one that was pretty big, and it took a lot of chips. I mean, you could fill that thing up pretty good. This whole tree would fit in there, no problem. Probably get up to maybe 3/4 of the way full. And the door in the back was high enough that you didn't really have to worry about like it spilling when you're driving. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a really good system that we had going with this company here. We were able to knock out some jobs whenever we were like on point and efficient. It was really satisfying, very enjoyable. And there goes the notch. Gotta make sure it's nice and clean. Just need to take a little piece out of there. I feel like this bar might be a bit on the bent side. Yep, nice and clean notch there. Perfect. Now we're going to back this thing up. Pivot out of the way here. Oh yeah. Why not? The 660. So the 660, man, I love that saw. It's real big, super heavy, but um, it's just so efficient, especially when it's sharp. I remember being like 15 years old, and the company I was working with at that time, uh, we had a job where we had laid down tons of oak trees, just bunch of logs on the ground, and um, I was tasked with cutting everything up into firewood size. And boy, I had a whole day of fun with the 660. By the end of the day, forearms were burning. I was done. I was toast. But it was lots of fun. Lots of fun. Yeah. And it's got a brand new bar. Goodness gracious, how could you say no? And that was it. I guess the camera died or something there. So there goes the majority of the video. But yeah, I also wanted to just answer some some of the comments here. This video will go live probably right after this one. This one's posted. All right, so Taylor Cuts Trees is asking, what program have you been using to edit? Well, usually I just use Premiere Pro. You can just go to Adobe's website, and then you're gonna sign up for one of their one of their plans, and they have tons of plans. They have um, the Adobe Illustrator. They have what else? They have Fresco, Bridge, Character Animator, Adobe Aero, Photoshop Express. I mean, you've got tons of different options uh, when it comes to video editing. Video editing is pretty what do you call it? It's pretty involved, but once you get the hang of it, and once you've um, basically hang on here. Once you've gotten used to the controls and everything, and you figure out the keyboard shortcuts, you'll be super quick with the whole editing, or relatively quick. I mean, compared to when you first start out. When you first start out using any one of these programs, I mean, let me just back up a little bit. There's also DaVinci Resolve, which is free, totally free. And when I first started my YouTube channel, I was using DaVinci Resolve. I forget what version of DaVinci Resolve, but that wasn't a bad. I guess that wasn't so. I wouldn't say it was bad, but how do you call it? It was just I don't know. You know how there's like the knockoff versions of the different your favorite brands that you like? um, yeah, that was kind of like what was going on with that. Um, the DaVinci Resolve is also got different keys, similar workflow and everything like that, but definitely you can tell the difference between DaVinci Resolve and then Adobe Premiere. I love Adobe Premiere. It's seamless. It you don't really run into any issues when you go to export your video. So when you're going to export your video, there you can come across a bunch of issues with DaVinci Resolve, such as what would be one? One of the things that I was coming across was like, how do you encode it? Like, do you use anything like uh, I don't know, what size do you want the video to be, like 1520 by 720 or something like that, you know what I mean? There's that. Then there's the encoding part where it's like for YouTube you have to have a certain encoding. It was weird. It was really weird, and it was kind of difficult to manage. So when I switched over to Adobe, it already had the YouTube encoding. All you had to do is select it, and that's it. It was like one click and you're done. You didn't have to go on the internet and then read a bunch of stuff to then figure out what you might need to do, because even then it was still kind of like fuzzy. I recommend you use the other one. Okay, so let's go back here. Lewis McKinney says your videos are quite different than other trick work I've watched from the past several months. More detail, absolutely like the 4K. Thanks, man. Um, yeah, the camera does its job for sure. Thanks for taking the time to do your video. Helps justify your hard work. Looks like you quite the studio setup. Kind of. I got this new mic. Kind of just, yeah, you kind of just figure it out as you go. And then, yeah, so awesome, man. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the comment. All right, so awesome quality. Thanks for the awesome resolution. Thanks for sharing. When I saw Blake Sitch on the rope wrench, I had to stop watching. If any of you guys watch this video, I know it was a rough watch. I remember this climb, and I totally hated myself afterwards. It was like, it was really hard to climb up this tree. Like, even with ascenders, man, like, you would have an easier time climbing on a moving rope system, foot locking into the canopy of this tree, than using a rope wrench with Blake Sitch on it. It was truly, really that bad. Glad you acknowledged your mistake. Furthermore, glad you mentioned those mistakes to your audience. Yeah, man. So the mistakes part of climbing is just such an important thing, and like the reflection on the mistakes is just what gets you to like another level. It helps you get better. It helps you become more efficient. Specifically, like if you watch your videos after you're done climbing, you'll go back and start watching, and you're following your flow. You're like, okay, yeah, this looks good, and then you start going left, and then you're like, oh crap, man, like let me not do this again, you know. Shadow Beaner here, Garrett. So I think he's just basically saying like what's going on with the spar anchor I'm using here. So yeah, it's a Shadow Beaner 34 millimeter quick ring, and no, it's not a quickie, it's just a ring. But yeah, same logic, right? And then an Alpine running bow, alpine or running. It's just a long running bow line. Okay. But yeah, man, thank you for the comments here. Even without frog walking, would it be a good call for an SRT to implement CalTel on upper ascender of some kind? Okay, yeah. So I was talking about preventing falls here, and so with any kind of like mechanical devices, like you always run the risk, especially when there's like a lot of dead wood above you, or you might snag some dead wood. Um, there's that possibility that a branch might come loose and then come hit the top of that, the bollard on the Exotica or the bird on the Rope Runner Pro or the Rope Runner. Um, and yeah, like you go for a little free fall. You go for sometimes a free fall might just go take you to the ground if you're not able to stop yourself. If you are able to stop yourself, you're gonna melt your hands. So definitely something to like just keep in mind, and that's why I made the video. Sometimes like if you have that fear, if I had that fear, I'll just go ahead and just attach my hand ascender real quick right above the hitch and attach it to myself, kind of like what do you call those whenever you're doing an AR, an aerial rescue? You use a short piece of rope to attach yourself to the victim, right? And then that keeps you connected to them, but it's like a different concept. I'm just gonna move on. Absolutely right. People first. Stay safe and awesome job, man. Well, yeah, man. People first for sure. The reality of targets and tree removal. So yeah, we were just talking here about this tree. It was stone dead. I was tied into a tree behind me, and I was using. It was live. It was a live tree, and the tree right next to it. It was two trees growing out of the same stump, and one tree was dead with fruiting bodies, just tons of sapwood rot, and it was really bad. I mean, that's not something you climb. Yeah, so if you guys aren't familiar with like tree risk assessments and like the whole thing about like fruiting bodies, fungi on the tree, yeah, maybe I feel like some people might need a reality check. Because there's people who just go ahead and climb dead trees, and I've been one of those people. But coming to know more and more about like what fungi does to a tree, and then just the structural damage that comes about. Also, like the stories, like for instance, back where I used to work at Davie, there was a guy who died because the guy was climbing a tree. It had Ganoderm on it. It was a maple tree with Ganoderm on it. It's basically like some shelf-like conchs on the tree, and they thought it was solid enough to climb. But what ended up happening was that the tree broke somewhere along the stem, and the guy died. Poor man, died, man. That was a sad day for a lot of people. I just came across a similar post here. How dead is too dead to climb? Are you safe? And this guy's basically talking about a hickory tree. You know how hard a hickory is? If you guys have cut hickory, I mean, you already know that this wood is insanely dense, extremely heavy wood, really strong also. This guy's experience with that wood, I mean, I guess it would have told them like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna cut this tree, we're gonna climb it, blah blah. But they had no idea that this thing was damaged to the point that it lost all of its structural integrity in a certain spot, and that single point of failure killed another person here. And this guy's reporting on it there in that comment. Really just insane stuff. If you're going to climb a dead tree, I mean, we're at Davie. we always practice like, you look at the root attachment. You look at all the attachments, right? All the attachment points, which is any crotch, the root trunk attachment, all that stuff. You want to look for fruiting bodies. You want to look for decay, all that good stuff, man. Just a good tree risk assessment. Great video again in Climb Safe. Greetings from Germany. Hey, man. Wow, that's so cool, man. People from Germany are watching this video. That is awesome. Shout out to you, Patrick. And Cool Gen 10, great video. Love being able to see how you move around, set up your rigging. Yeah, man. Thank you. Thanks. I love your videos, man. And I've been a subscriber for quite a while now, but a minute 14 for a leeway climb a line above you as you put a face cut is a bad habit. I've seen very experienced climbers kill themselves doing this. It's just too easy to forget to reset before a back cut. Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. So I know that this is a really dangerous thing. It's super, I guess you could say it's risky, relatively, I would say, only because whenever we're climbing a tree, you usually don't want to be tied into the piece that you're cutting, right? But whenever I'm cutting down a tree and I need the support, like I just need support to just make my cut and be comfortable, it saves my back, it saves my body. There's a lot of benefits, and I think that those benefits, along with a healthy amount of awareness, is more than worth it. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a look at it here, show you guys here. Chainsaw's cutting like a hot knife through butter here. Look at that. It's looking good. Check that out. Nice and buttery smooth. Oh, I just saw a comment here from AM. I'll get back to it in like a second. Give me a second here. All right, so let's get to this video here. So I made the notch, right? I'm nice and comfortable sitting in my saddle here. And the only reason why I'm tied in is because, like, if you look over here in the shadow, I can just explain what's going on. So I have a spar anchor up here, a retrievable. I made it retrievable, right? And it's anchored up here above me. And I had just cut this notch, and that's what the comment is about. He's talking about he's seen very experienced climbers almost kill themselves doing it. It's just too easy to forget to reset before the back cut. So yeah, you're right. I mean, there are times when I don't even do this because I'm either like, I either didn't get too good a sleep the night before, and I'm just kind of like concerned, like, hey, you know what? I don't want to forget, and I'm just not going to do it at all. You just got to be in a certain mindset in order to be able to really do it. It's a tough call, and I guess it's pretty subjective. But yeah, man, thank you for your comment, man. Really appreciate that one. A good job, guys. Take care and have a blessed and safe day. You too. It's a nice friction saver idea. We'll give it a try. Yeah, man, give it a try. Thanks for the video. Red Oak's one of my favorite trees. Keep the vids detail where you clearly show all the technical gear and rope maneuvers. Oh man, so I get this type of comment comes across my channel pretty often. I've gotten a similar comment um, quite frequently, man. Your channel's so underrated. And maybe it is, but it's up to you guys, man, to make it rated. Like, not even overrated, but just like ranking, even, you know? So, hey, man, hit that like button. It helps these videos to come across just more people. And if those people don't like it and they hit the like button anyway, it just gets more people to see it because it's just the way that the algorithm reads everything. Yeah, this YouTube algorithm is funny. I'm gonna tell you guys, this YouTube algorithm is funny because there are times when I have a strong feeling that YouTube is throttling my viewership, and it's extremely annoying. Let me get over here to this comment in the chat. So the question is, I have a quick question which I cannot find answer to. How to climb a cedar pine type tree, but cannot securely throw in and do not want to spur up because it is not the tree to be removed. Huh. I can kind of draw it out for you real quick. Let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can draw something out for you here. So what I would say is do this. Give me a second here. Oh no, what's going on? Sorry guys, sorry. Give me a second here. I'm using another program that allows me to capture the windows and that I'm using. It's pretty cool. That's super cool. All right, window capture. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. All right, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you what I wanted to. Just give me another second here. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can get the OneNote, because in OneNote I can draw something real quick and kind of provide you some sort of solution to your question. I know what I'm going to do. Give me a second here. So I'm going to go to display capture. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to go here to display capture, and all right, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so go right here, and I'm going to expand that. So here, just working on some standard deviation problems. Okay. All right, so if you have a cedar tree, right, like this, right, where they're usually kind of like that, right? And let's say you have another tree that you want to work on over here. And maybe look like this, right? And do this. So if you want to work out of this tree right here, what I would do is I would find myself a spot to throw the ball in, somewhere around the tree, over here, back here, over here in the front, wherever you have the best line of sight, right? And what I would do is I would get my little cube, set it up, right? And then I would throw my throw line up in there, right? Just toss it up in there. Let's say you get it over through here and it's draping over. Let's say that this is the ball. This is your throw line. And what you want to do is you want to retract your throw line, right? You want to retract your throw line, meaning you want to pull it back in, right? Until that throw line is kind of like in between some branches up here. All right, you following me? And then I would let that ball come all the way down, right? So actually, let me just retract here. You want to let it down in a way that these branches aren't going to impede you, or you're not going to catch any deflection from any of these branches here. And I would just let it come all the way down, retract it so it comes in closer to the tree. And then you'd come over here to the other side. You come over here to the other side, right? Come over here to the other side of the tree with your throw cube. And then start feeding this line back into here. Also, I want to note that you're gonna attach a ball here. So you're gonna dump your line on this side of the tree, and you're gonna start retracting it. You're gonna pull it all the way up, right? And as you pull it up, you want to make sure that this side of the line doesn't catch any deflection. And you want to just kind of let the ball fall all the way through here, all the way down through here, right along the trunk of the tree. And then maybe do a basil tie. That's what I would do. Do a basil tie. And then you can SRT from there. If you don't want to SRT from there and you want an MRS system, I'm pretty sure you can just do some kind of hybrid system here where you make a little loop here, you put a carabiner on it, you attach your MRS system to it, and then now you've got yourself an MRS system that's able to get you into this tree. Now you can go ahead and climb. That would be my solution, AM. So I hope that helps. Yeah. All right, so just gonna read a few more of these comments here. So sometimes I think you're a little hard on yourself. Always our own worst critics. I've learned something in every video. Just keep going, keep on keeping on. For sure, man. Appreciate the encouragement. Yeah, this was on that one video. I wasn't entirely sure that I wanted to post the video, but I posted it anyway because I was like, you know what? It's content for the channel, and on top of that, it kind of shows like maybe what not to do. And that's always, for me, like, if you can learn from the mistakes of other people, then that means you don't have to make the mistake yourself. So I'm kind of like that guy in the classroom that asks a lot of questions, maybe. Maybe to others might be a little annoying. Sorry, man. But sometimes I just feel like I gotta ask it. It might help somebody else even, and I kind of do it in that spirit. So, anyway, did you find a rope that works best with Rope Runner? So yeah, kind of. I feel like the Rope Runner Pro. I say kind of because the Rope Runner Pro really kind of just excels on the Rope Runner Pro excels on most ropes. Uh, it really does. I mean, I've used the Rope Runner Pro on ropes that aren't even mine, and it's worked pretty good. Like I didn't even have to change the setting or anything. They were similar size ropes. Um, I think I went to using a. It's one of the most common ropes. It's a blue and yellow rope. It might start with a D. Jesus, what kind of rope is it? I'll tell you what kind of ropes. Um, I feel like the Rope Runner Pro does have a type of rope that works best. I'll show you that one too, but let's go in here and say rope. Rope. Okay, so here we're gonna go to 24 strand. I've used 24 strand. So on the Tachyon is a bouncy rope, but the Rope Runner Pro works good on it. I mean, it bites nicely. On Blue Moon, I've used it. All right, Blue Moon's not bad. Um, by far, I'm just kind of partial to the Dragonfly. There are people who say that the Dragonfly sucks and that they don't like the rope, but the Dragonfly is like a little beast in its own because let me show you some of the description here. It has polyester melts. Okay, so it's got good heat resistance. I mean, not the greatest, right? But it's good enough. And I haven't really melted any of my ropes. So, no, this isn't Dyneema. So Dyneema is going to be by far the strongest rope. And Sizemore, by the way, I appreciate the donation there, man. Really appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Sizemore over here in the comments. So nylon, polyester has, is it nylon? Progressive strength loss above 300 Fahrenheit. I don't know, man. These numbers, there are objective measures, but like in real life, I feel like the Dragonfly is a good rope for me. I like it. It's got this really good construction. It's a Kern mantle construction, okay? So that's one thing I wanted to show you guys. It's a Kern mantle construction, but very much like a 24 strand. It behaves like a 24 strand in that it's able to knot nicely. It's got what most people refer to as having a good hand. The knot ability of this rope is superb to the majority of Kern mantle type ropes. And interestingly enough, they put it down into under the 24 strand climbing line section. So I am extremely partial to the Dragonfly. It's one of my favorite ropes. Let me show you another rope that I've used with the Rope Runner Pro here. Oh, Tango Ivy, Samson Tango Ivy. Goodness gracious, awesome rope. Absolutely amazing rope with the Rope Runner Pro. I think just about any type of climbing system that you decide to use, this Tango Ivy will serve you very well. These IV ropes are awesome. They really are. At one point, I wasn't really sure about like how well the IVs were, but when I went to Davy, I used the IV all the time, and then I got a few chances to use it with my Rope Runner Pro. So it was absolutely a great experience. It's, I guess the way that the rope acts under pressure is that like it kind of just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I guess it kind of like almost stiffens up, and the Rope Runner Pro feels really good in it. I've used this Sterling Scion rope with the Rope Runner Pro, and it behaved kind of pretty much like I expected it to. Is there the best rope? Nah, man. You kind of just gotta see what you can afford here, what you can afford, and go off of that. I wouldn't really think about it too much. Although, give me one more second. I would also recommend some of the static lines, like the Ecstatic, absolutely amazing. Kernmaster Safari, absolutely amazing. Have you guys seen this in real life? The Kernmaster Safari, it's got like a holographic look to it. It's insane. KM3 Max, absolutely amazing. Great rope for the Rope Runner Pro. And they're not so, they don't have like the greatest hand, as some people would say. The knotability on this rope, most Kern mantles, this rope, this one and this one especially, they're not so great, but like after you've broken in your rope, like the knotability does increase, it gets better. However, for the Kernmaster, this thing has a good hand. So let's see which other one I've used. And the Adrenaline. So I've used it with the Adrenaline as well, and the Adrenaline's not too bad. It's actually pretty good. So Rope Runner Pro is going to work with the majority of your ropes out there. It's just up to you what you want to use. What size rope? I mean, some people like to have a thicker rope as they're climbing in the tree. Just have something thicker to hold on to. Less strain on your hands, I guess. Not sure. I use an ascender when I'm going up, hand ascender. So I don't really need to worry about that. I like the Dragonfly. The Dragonfly and the Ecstatic is what I'm currently climbing on, like consistently. Quick tip to reduce one-handing: set your hinge, then remove the saw, and give a little push. With some practice, you can get very consistent with it. It only takes slightly longer. While I don't advocate two hands at all times, I do my best to reduce the amount of one-handing I do. Great video. I really enjoy your voiceover commentary. Keep up the great work and enjoying life. For sure, man. I really, I kind of, when I read this comment, I read it a while ago. Yeah, so I've actually been, I agree with everything you're saying here. So that's what I do. I do the notch, right? I make my notch real quick, and then I put my saw away if I need to. I mean, it kind of depends. If I just need to kind of like fix myself a little bit, position myself a little better. And then I'll get to cutting. I'll make the cut. But yeah, for sure, I'm not always one-handing either. I mean, there are times when it's really easy to just one hand, but it's also at the same time, very simply, you can also use two hands, and all you have to do is position yourself a little bit better. And then you won't have to worry about having to brace yourself with one hand and then cut with the other. I've gotten a lot better at that, and so I'm not an advocate for two hands at all times. Although earlier, probably about 2 years ago or so, I've made those kind of choices where I'm just like, I need to use two hands all the time. And honestly, it's going to take you a lot longer sometimes to do certain things. And also, you might feel a little vulnerable at times using two hands, you know? You might feel a little bit more vulnerable, like a little bit more risk, like you're just a little offset about it. And whenever I feel like that, I use one hand. I'm not even worried about it. I am not a two hands at all times advocate. Thank you, Nate, for the comment. Oh, another one from Nate. Why didn't I just natural crotch it? I've never asked myself this, as if one of the advantages is not only less friction, it keeps line contact at the same point. There are many situations where one side of the line will drop down and increase friction due to more bark contact, where the ring and ring will keep the friction anchor at the consistent. Otherwise, excellent video. Before watching this, I didn't understand perfect why the huge cost difference was just. Now I want one. We'll definitely be saving up for it. Yeah, man. That's like one of the big things that a lot of people, think about is like, why don't I just natural crotch it? Why don't I just use the ring and ring? And yeah, so sometimes I don't really care for the secret weapon, because the secret weapon kind of just is to like make you super efficient, especially on longer climbs, and it works wonders. My dude over here was questioning it, but now thinking about it is considering saving up for it. So awesome. Something about your vids are inspiring. Like 1910. Whoa, what was that 1910? I don't know. I think I watched the video and I was just like, I don't really see it. But hey, man, I think I've inspired a lot of people, and that's just awesome. Okay, so here's just a bit of harsh, like tough climbing here. And this is just straight up climbing, just straight power move right here. Straight up, all biceps right there. And it's always fun. It's always a lot of fun to get up into the tree and really maneuver yourself with sheer strength. There's just something so satisfying about, climbing that way. I remember earlier in my videos, like when I first started my channel, people would always say like, yeah, man, like you just need to climb the tree and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, man, I don't want to hear it. Because there are times when I just use ascenders to like move around, and I just use my equipment to position myself, and I'm not really using my strength just to preserve it. I want to come home and do things later. I don't want to just be laid out tired. So, but this is always fun. Always a lot of fun. Yeah. But yeah, Matthew, really appreciate your comment there. Glad to be an inspiration to you. I learned a lot from your video, especially the spar anchor technique. Keep posting, Captain Hook. Roger that. Enjoyed the video. Always searching for better glove. What are you wearing? Okay, so Matthew, and just for everybody else, I'm always using those yellow gloves, if you guys noticed, and I buy them at Costco. It's like a pair of 5 for $25. You can't beat that. You can go and try to find those same exact gloves on Amazon, and you're gonna pay like full price for them. So they're gonna be substantially more. It's closer to like $50, and it's a lot better to just use the leather gloves, in my opinion. Okay, so on this video, I was kind of using a weird method. It was super time consuming, but I thought it was a bit warranted at the time. I was just like climbing over a real big pocket of decay in the tree, and then on top of that, just the way that I guess you could call it like the phototropic growth of the tree caused it to have a kink and then go up. So it had like a chicane in it, right? And at that very point is where it was decayed. So I was extremely scared at that point, and I'm just like, man, I just need to go up a little bit higher to throw the top and then come back down and finish it off. So yeah, that was a fun climb. Okay, so he's also asking, what harness are you in? So for this video, it was in the Petzl Sequoia SRT version, and currently I'm not in the SRT version, the Petzl anymore. I went to the Teufelberger Light 2018 version, and I've upgraded to the Comfort back pad. So that thing actually changes the saddle into something a lot better. The experience is basically like you got more comfort, more support, exactly where you need it, and it kind of almost mimics the full size version of the Teufelberger Tree Motion saddles. All right, so I'm watching you react to Beano's climbing and setting ropes, limb walking. Interesting to hear your thoughts on his techniques. Very cool stuff, Captain. Cool, man. Maybe I should do some more videos like that. Let me know if you guys want more videos on maybe commentary, reaction to other climbers, other YouTube tree climbers. Yeah, definitely leave a like, drop a comment, let me know. Would appreciate that. All right, so I'm new to climbing, and I'm sponging up everything and anything you put out in your videos that will further my abilities as a climber as well as enhance my safety. Keep teaching me and keep the camera on record, Captain. Roger that. Will do, man. I like that you show the whole process without cutting editing. It's very educational to see how you efficiently handle all the details. Yeah, man, for sure. Few things on that. So I'm not really cutting and editing so much because I don't really feel like cutting and editing so much, but at the same time, there's a value to it. So that makes me happy. Yeah. What kind of aerial lift is it that you use? So in this one, we're using an Omni. It's an Omni lift. It's OMME lift. And you'll see them. I think they come in like 60-foot versions. This is the 90-foot version. It's got a massive footprint, but it also has an extreme reach. So you can position the lift probably like 25 feet away from the tree you're cutting. For most trees that are like probably like, I don't know, 70 foot tall, you can probably still get away with like 20 foot away from the base of the tree and have like some kind of drop zone where you're not like worried about the mini striking one of the legs on one of the outriggers stabilizers on this machine. It's actually really good, super time saver and everything. Do you have another video on your lanyard setup? Oh, yeah, I think I do. I'm gonna have to post it. I think I need to edit. I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere in the archives, man. I have a hard drive that's full of stuff. Goodness gracious. You do a great job on your videos, and thank you for that. Have you had any issues with getting the hook stuck in a crotch? Yeah, I think I've addressed this comment already, but I'm just gonna address it and kind of do something else from here. So yeah, getting the hook stuck in a crotch is that's a good question, because that's something that actually happens. Sometimes when you get to like the maximum of that hook's what the hook can engage on, like it'll be hard after you put weight into it to get it off. So you're gonna be flicking real hard on the rope in order to get it off. Sometimes it won't even come off. That's a little bit more rare. But for the most part, when I'm throwing my hook, I'm always throwing at something I know I'm going to be able to. Number one, it's going to hold my weight, and number two, not going to break, right? And that's going to be able to fit in the hook. And if not, let's say I'm throwing over like a big crotch. What I'll do is throw it into the big crotch, and then underneath it, there might be a smaller one, which will then leave the hook inverted, right? So the hook will be inverted like downwards, and use it like that. So it's not bad. Yeah, that hook's got tons of different uses. I love using the hook. So yeah, I got a bunch of videos here. Tree climbing. Let's see what's new here. Let's see what's new on YouTube for tree climbing. That's gonna be fun. I guess this week. Conquering Slippery Tree, a climbing adventure. Goodness gracious. August has such a following. It's amazing. Let me see. Walking on trees. You're climbing against the lean, bro. Ooh. Goodness gracious, bro. That looks sketchy AF. Goodness gracious. Gear Talk, my tree climbing setup. Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at this. This is insane. Made a V5 in the tree. Wow. Repelling carabiner blocks. Climbing vlog. What? This looks cool. Bunch of climbers together like this. I always love going into situations like this. Get a bunch of crazy people together. It's funny, man, because every climber's got an ego. And you could just, it's like a lot of testosterone here. It's kind of funny. But it's cool, man. It's a cool environment, man. If you guys ever get a chance to climb with a bunch of climbers, like you'll learn things about them. You'll learn how they climb, and you'll learn what to do, maybe not what not to do. Learn a new technique, maybe just a new setup, new way to set something up. That's fun. That rigger pulley there, or not rigger pulley. It's the goodness gracious. Anyway. Oh yeah, these guys are insane. Look at them. Mm-hmm. I've got something similar like this to me here in Chapel Hill. Just a bunch of crazy people, bro, that get together and love to climb. And it's a lot of fun to hang out with these guys. Wow. Yeah. So I see that's why they had the GCRS, because they wanted to tighten up this high line here, the zip line. Yeah, look at that. The distribution of forces there. That's pretty cool. They did it. They got a good setup here. Yeah. So you got the whole train compression. Exactly, man. So that's good. So yeah, it's gonna be springy. I think that's what they're talking about. Hmm. Mm. So it looks like these guys are having a ton of fun here. All right, I'm gonna go back. Let's see what's going on here. Tree climbing sticks from bed. You know what? Look at this tree climbing. This one guy's set up over here. My tree climbing setup. He's got 9 subscribers. Hey man, go subscribe to this guy's channel, Valentin Brito. Go get him some more subscribers. He needs 1,000 to start making money on his channel to get monetized. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. What do you guys think about these? These look well. He's mentioning now that the quality might be a bit questionable, especially on the upper part, the cuff here. Talking about how the foam cushion would slide down as you're climbing, and I know that. I mean, these are the spikes I climb on. This is my go-to. I've no desire to change from this spike to this spike or any other spike. Not even the carbon fiber version of the Gecko spike, because um, I really feel like this right here is a good bang for the buck. It puts you basically at the pinnacle of what a climbing spike will will give you the type of experience that you're gonna get out of it. And yeah, I feel like this right here is the best spike. It's not the most expensive spike. It's not the cheapest one. Among it's among the big dogs. And I've had these spikes. Mine are about, gee man, I bought them in probably like 2011. No, even before that, maybe 2010, and I bought them for $100 from the person I used to work for. Also, I was the only one using those spikes, so they've actually been mine since the person bought them. I took them off his hands for $100. And yeah, man, so I've had them ever since, and it's just I can never climb with anything else. Whenever I think about it, I'm just like, no, anything heavier. So these are also supposed to be heavier, these Edelrids. Nah, man, I'm good. I rather not, cause it's more tiring, and I don't know. They need to hone these in a little bit more. More work needs to be done. They do look heavier. That looks like a steel shank as well. I like these aluminum fiberglass right here. This pad here is integrated with the strap, so like you'll never have that issue of it falling down, unless um I did have a similar issue, but it wouldn't slide down so much. Just that the inside, in here, just behind this fiberglass and in between the foam, there's an adhesive Velcro that you just want to make sure is nice and new. Make sure it's clean, and it will never slide, man. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's see what else you got. Oh, Okay. Sweet. Hmm. Oh. So how do you take it apart? Wait, so you're still using that? How do you use it with the bungee broken? Oh, cool saddle. I used to use this over at Davy. This saddle's good, man. It's a good saddle. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Probably a CT maybe, like that blue color. Oh, I have that same pulley, man. That's a is it a CT pulley as well? Or no, that's a pestle. That's nice, man. Not bad. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. I like the way that he daisy chained it that way. He could just quickly undo it. That's nice. Nice rope management there. Oh, the Xeon, Tachyon. Bro, that carabiner is a pain in the butt to be using. I have the same carabiners. I've tried using them on my lanyards and they never really work how I want them to. Uh oh. Hang on. Gonna. Wow. So, been streaming for a while now. Yeah, let's go. Just stream for a little while longer. Really? Hmm. Shadow. Or Perfecto, yeah. That catch or something. Yeah. Hmm. Wow, that's actually a great point. So, for mechanicals like this, it's kind of like in the same, it's made in the same way that the the zigzag is, and it kind of just like as soon as something touches that top portion where the friction kind of like rests in, like once you depress the top part of that, the Xeon, it immediately starts feeding slack into your system, and that is one of the dangers of mechanicals. That's something I think about a lot. There we go. Yeah, this one seems better. This other one over here, this other DMM, yeah, bit heavy. Yep, that's what I was thinking. That is so cool. Yeah, that is cool. Nice, man. Yeah, adrenaline. All right, I'm gonna get out of that one. Here, let's see this guy. This guy seems crazy, man. Climbing against the lean. That doesn't look like fun. Okay, so what in the world are you doing there, buddy? That's gonna fall. Goodness gracious. That's what I. So I'm not really into like crane work or anything. I've done some crane work. I've done some setting and then cutting of my own, and then I've also done just setting and then someone else cuts. So I ride the ball and then come down. Someone cuts. Yeah, but very little crane work experience. And this right here just looks insane, bruh. I don't, I don't know. I just feel like in terms of safety and like just following certain protocols, this kind of violates a lot of things. I know. I mean, it looks like you survived to post it, so yeah, it just looks real sketchy. Oh, Steelborn. Steelborn has some stuff, huh? Oh yeah, good point. There you go. This guy's actually fallen out of trees before. I think he fell out of a tree. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he got hurt real bad. Steelborn is, I mean, he seems like an older guy, man. Let's see what August Honeygee is posting here today. 6 days ago, he posted. What is August posting? All day. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta work, right? In the rain, it sucks, man. But I guess once you're working and you got a nice flow going, it's not so bad. Just gotta be extra careful. I mean, what else can you do, right? Being extra careful. Um, he's gonna tie in right from the get go. I think that for me, for a climb like this, I probably would tie. I would set a line first. I would set a line first, only because it's slippery and because it'll be just ready for me to, to catch me. If I were to slip, um, I wouldn't slide all the way down the trunk to the next cross. I would be all right if I slipped because my lifeline would be there to catch me. But to each their own. Sometimes I'll be doing some stuff like this where probably should just tie in first before stepping off. Um, Things work out. So that's what matters in the end. So bracing himself, with a one hand cut is warranted here because, I mean, sort of ish. Look at that. That was a cool cut. So how he left. Was that a shelf cut or was that just the peel? Oh. Oh, yeah. Check him out. He's tied into the tree adjacent to this one. Is he? I think so. I think he's tied into that pine tree right there. Lanyard off. All right. And he likes that steel cord lanyard. Yeah, so he's tied in over there. Looks like a bit of a low tie in. But hey, man, I think it's working out. Maybe it's just the camera angle, and sometimes the wide view distorts the image. Kind of gives you a different impression. It doesn't really catch it. Doesn't maintain the integrity of what's actually going on. Yeah, look at him. He's just ripping away, man. He's quick, man. And August is older, man. August is an older guy. He's got fur on his suspenders. Yeah, man, he's got to be in the monthly issue of the Tree GQ with those suspenders. Look at that, all that fur. Looks like he's just having fun, man. Ah, yeah, look at him. He's killing it. Yeah, that's looking a bit sketchy. Yeah, Wow, that's always fun. Hmm. Some entry rope management there. While you're rigging, it's just insane, man. Look at this. There's some cool effects there. I like that. Um, might have to borrow some of those video effects there, Haneke. Very good. Nice tip tie on there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, that was some good stuff there. Yeah, let's fast forward. I like those shots, man. I'm probably gonna start setting up more cameras in the tree because I do have two GoPros. One for my helmet, and then I can just set up another one in the tree. Probably gonna start doing something like that. So working, I've worked at an apartment complex where I was in charge of um, leading a crew and getting everything. Like I think it was like a 25-foot margin they wanted between the houses and the trees. And yeah, man, we were pruning a bunch. We were doing all kind of stuff, and it just kind of reminds me of that. It was a lot of fun. Had a good old time. And he's climbing really close to the apartment buildings, and that's like super cool. Definitely can relate. It almost feels like he's no, he's not rigging on top of his line. I mean, no one would do that, especially not in the rain. Okay, so now I gotta push it over. Yeah, and I mean, understandably, he didn't want to climb up any further up that branch because he's actually getting closer and closer to his tie in there. And, well, it just puts more pressure onto that thing. Might break off, go for a nasty swing. So, yeah, man, very skilled, this guy. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, big wood. Big wood and two ropes on the logs. Awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool. Need gas? It's good landing. Nice. Poor bats, man. It's always tough when you got to evict some animals from their tree home. Recently, I had to evict a few squirrels. I felt terrible about it, but hey, man, I did my best. I asked for a bucket. Bucket went up, and then I put the nest inside the bucket. As I was lowering the bucket tipped over, and the nest fell down, but it didn't fall down from 60 feet. It might have fell down from like 20, 25. Yeah, maybe less. Anyway, the poor animals, man. Yeah, and he's got a lady on the team, man. That's awesome. To be able to work with someone other than pure men on the job. I mean, I don't think I've ever worked with another female, another woman in tree work ever. Oh no, actually I take that back. Yes, I have. Um yeah, I remember now. But I was working with like a janky company at the time, and uh yeah, there was no helmets involved. Like this person over here looks like she kind of knows what she's doing. Even got some roping skills. It's awesome, man. That is awesome. That's some chop suey. I was thinking some bodies hit the floor. uh, yeah, and then so there's that aspect to his job where he's got traffic to deal with there. So precarious, man. Now I see why he's letting them peel because of of the traffic. There you go. That one was close, man. Some people say that an inch is as good as a mile. As long as it didn't hurt anything, it's good to go. Yeah. Doing the cougar, man. Any wetness? Oh yeah. Imagine if you weren't wearing that rain gear. Ultra fast tree climbing removal. What? Yeah, it looks like a tiny little drop zone here. He's not even roping, man. He might just be working by himself. Goodness gracious. He's working by himself. Wow. Good job, man. Looks cool. Looks like a beech tree removal there. Hmm. Okay, so let's change up the filter here. Let's look at reading. Speed. Lithuanian tree free climber. Oh, bro, you're insane. Hours, feet, and soles, tree climbing. Great view from the office. Oh, yeah. Austin Deem. Looks like some storm damage work here. In what? Like an oak? Looks like some kind of a oak structure there. Yeah, probably an oak. Red oak. Check out Austin Deem. Austin Deem. Let's go to your videos, bro. 19-year-old entrepreneur that works full-time, owns, operates a tree business. Sweet, man. He's got 60 subscribers. He's trying to do something for himself. Cool picture there. A lot of sky. He's way up there, maybe. Looking cool, man. Looks cool. He's got a bunch of shorts. That's what he's got. Yep. All right, finishing the back cut with the saw, hand saw. This is a good technique. Yeah, I usually do that whenever I know I'm gonna go for a ride, and I'm just like, all right, so I can put away my handsaw a lot faster in this situation than I can my actual chainsaw. And so now I'll just put away. Holster, man, you got to get them holster skills up, man, because they're so important. Let's go back. So Austin Deem, go ahead and subscribe to Austin Deem's channel, man. Got 60 subscribers, and yeah, give him some likes. Get his videos rolling around YouTube a little bit more. Peter Shea, 98 views. Let's see what's up with Peter Shea. 359 subscribers. Almost to that monetization point. Look at him. Got the crane set up here. Looks like they're going to be cutting down a big old tree. And they're using a crane for it, so that's really cool. Trees like this, man, they are tough, so time consuming, hard on the body, especially when you don't have a crane. I've cut down several trees like this right up against the house, man, just extremely time consuming. And they're big, so big. So he's going around the ball, but according to regulation, there must be some kind of a situation where, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically like if it poses a danger for you to climb up the tree and it's safer for you to ride the ball and get into the tree, then you should just ride the ball. Otherwise, you should be climbing. And I don't know, I feel like maybe it's always easier to ride the ball, so I probably ride the ball anyway. Look at this guy, man. Okay, so this looks like a water oak here. Big old water oak. And I like the slings, all right? So they're using those really cool cranes, or is that just a rope? Nah, he's using shackles and all. Or maybe he's got a shackle and some slings, so he can just tie some cow hitches real quick, or whatever he's going to be tying. I think cow hitches are a lot easier most of the time. Setting the choker sets the stage for all the balancers. Oh, okay, I see what he means by that. Yeah. So you set the choker that way. Maybe the choker is probably like the shortest part, the shortest one. So he'll tie that one up nice and high and then get it a little tight. And then these longer slings, he'll set them just to provide that balance. So he'll like kind of do a spider leg. How to keep it nice and balanced and very appropriate for this situation. I like it. Yeah, man, go subscribe to Peter Shea, man. He looks like he's doing some good work here. Really good work. So it looks like he's tied into the ball right now. And I think he's got a proper attachment point to the ball as well. So yeah, look, now he's tightening up that one. And he's going to get the other one's situated right afterwards. He's just probably gonna get the ball centered right over where he wants to load it, right in that vicinity. All right, let's speed this up a little bit. All right, so again, gonna tie it up right there. So you got one sling on, and then you get some more slings on here. Let's see what you got. I want to see him balance this thing. This is gonna be cool. I like the whole balance thing he's doing here. He's got 3 spider legs on there, and heck yeah, man, looking good. So is he the rope setter and the other guy's gonna be cutting? I think that's what's going on here. That's always so much fun. I love that. I only say that because that's kind of like in my experience. In my experience, I've done this before. I've set ropes, and then somebody else cuts, and that's always so much fun. It's adrenaline rush, especially when you're riding the ball. When you're riding that ball, you hit 100 feet, and it's like 0 to 100 in seconds. You know, you're way up there real fast. So yeah, look at that. Look at that decay there. Damage. Wow, look at that roof, man. Them roofs look like they're in bad shape there. Real bad shape. Look at these guys. They're chilling in the office. Just wow. Yeah, man. Definitely go check out Peter Shea. It's the truth, man. Give him a like. I'm gonna subscribe to him. All right, so now he's gonna come out of the tree. Okay, so yeah, he is the setter, and the other guy's gonna make the cut, and that's a big old piece. That's looking nice and healthy right there. And he looks like he's just ready to okay, telling the guy cable up. I don't know if he's able to cable up anymore. Where's the ball? Oh, maybe the ball's right here. So yeah, he can cable up a little more. I don't know. I just kind of felt like at the boom, the ball must have been closer to the boom. It looks like the ball's right there, but no, this is that safety thing to keep the ball from flipping over. Okay. Whew. All right, man. That's looking good. Mm-hmm. Everything did. Looks like that center strap. Oh no, that center one. I don't think he attached that, or did he? Might be attached. Don't matter. It's balanced. Super cool, man. Let's see how fast they're gonna remove this tree so fast. It's insane. All right, cable up. So on one crane job that I was on, um, the crane was able to set up pretty close to the base of the tree, and that just meant that he had tons of like lifting capability. And boy, man, we he was there was one piece. There was a log that he sent. Um, he told me it was about 9,000 pounds, and he was able to hold 19,000 at that point. So he was like about halfway, about 50% of what he's able to lift. And goodness gracious, man, he could have still done a little bit more than that. Um, like he's riding the ball there. That's cool. I like how they're making their cuts there, making the V cuts. Yeah. So it's always cool, man, because like you get to communicate with the crane operator, and you tell him like, "Hey, man, telescope out, in or cable up, cable down, boom up, boom down," and you kind of just get the ball exactly where you want it, and it's just a lot of fun. This is cool. This is cool. All right, well, it's about to be 1 o'clock. I'm gonna get off of this thing. Thank you guys for watching. For those of you that have been watching, and I apologize to anyone if you have been commenting, because my phone died and I was using that to monitor the chat. Let me just check the chat before I sign off. I'll keep playing this here. All right, I'm gonna go to the chat real quick and see if anyone has been commenting. My apologies. Um, 2 people are watching. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, appreciate you guys. Those of you that logged on and were able to catch some of the live stream. I appreciate you guys for tagging along. Till next time, that video that we watched at the beginning of this live stream will be posted shortly after I end this. Okay, so till next time, guys. Peace out. Be safe.